Hey, what up, everybody? Designer Desmond here. I want to share a script that I've been working on. It's for render tokens. If you press this button, yeah, I even got a little icon here. I'm going to update this icon just a little bit. Yeah, my theme is a little bit crazy. I'm working on a custom theme. I'm also going to release that. But for now, let's talk about this. This is a render token builder. What it does is it creates paths and file names for you to help you keep organized without spending time setting tokens up. There's a lot of cool features in here, so I'm just going to go over a couple things. If you take a look at my desktop, there are no folders on here. So this plugin, it will create a folder. If you don't have your project saved anywhere, like this is Untitled 1, it will make a folder called Quick C4D Renders on your desktop and dump everything in there. So you could just, when you hit apply, it sets up your render path. This customization button allows you to set up some tokens the way that you want, which is really cool. So I think I'm going to change this button to say like default or something like that. So if I just hit this reset button, what it does is it turns on these check marks, and these check marks are tokens that are basically going to be inserted into your save path. I copied all of them. I used to just like copy and paste this in there and it would work for me. But then I started like compiling all the tokens because over time you end up needing all these for different things. So then I built a script out of it. So let me show you how this works. If I were to hit actually let me open up the render path setting here. Go to here. And mine's already set up by default to be on PNG with alpha, but notice there's no path in here. If I hit apply, notice it put the path in there with the strings and everything. And I also have the ability to render right from this window. So it's going to render from the picture viewer. And then there's also this button to open the location. So you could, as you can imagine, you press apply, and then you hit render to picture viewer and then open location, and instantly you've already got something going. So inside of this folder, it will format them by date and time, and then inside of here, you will get the file with whatever tokens you have set up. So let me go over to like view and details so we could pull this name out. All right, so check it out. We have our date, time. The project was untitled because it was unsaved. So we mix this quick C4D renders. Otherwise, it would just make a folder called renders that is next to wherever you saved the file. So you could find them both at the same time. And that open location button makes more sense. These so on startup, right? It usually starts collapsed like this, or it might. I forget if I programmed it to remember your last state. What I do know is that, however, this is set up. Whenever you close this, that is how it will open up. It'll persist. It writes to a file right next to the token. So if I were to turn on animation as well, and then close this and then open this back up, you could see animation is there. And again, I'm gonna set this to defaults because it really is just the essentials, the time and the date. And what is really cool about this is I have some preview stuff in here. So for the token setup, we could see I have date, time, project, take, camera, and then we have a file name preview. And you're probably wondering, oh yeah, this gets a little long, so when you hover over it, it'll extend out the side. But you're probably wondering what the difference between these two are. This is just so you can see what tokens you're using. This is what your file will actually print like on in the actual folder. So let's just say I wanted to add height, right? So I added height. This is the last one. So at the end, telling me that it's 1440p, essentially. So and so there has been a lot of tags and strings that have added on to the tokens because normally just that height input would just give you the 1440. You wouldn't know what that was, so I have the tag of height in front of it and then the P because we're used to seeing things progressive. So yeah, this will be your file location, and then as well as it tells you how close you are to hitting the naming convention limit inside of Windows. I imagine Mac is similar. Oh, one last thing that I think is really cool. Notice how I have this delimiter options here, right? The delimiters are what it breaks up your different tags. So if I turn this delimiter off, notice that there is no delimiter. We could add anything like semicolon, equals button, we could have how much space we want between each of the tags. And if we have more than one delimiter, like let's say we have this and this, so now we have three, we can add the spaces between each of the delimiters themselves. So that's really cool because when you have your folders set up, or like if you were, let's say we're viewing large icons, you could set it up so that everything lines up to the left and you basically just get a printout stacked from top to bottom, just depending on how you like to have your thing set up. If you have large icons, it's going to be a different size versus extra large. But once you figure out what your setup calls for, then that is yeah, super useful. And then the last thing is being able to rearrange the order at which these appear. So this is the reorder tab. So you pick which one you want. So date, right? I could say move this down. So as I move this down, and this is actually the order that they're showing up as well. So date's going to be the third thing that pops up. Well, actually, it's going to be the fourth because we have some options here on essentials. But yeah, and then you see how it updates. We have our time and our date over here, and then our height is still last. So if we wanted that to still be in the front, we could just say move up, bring it back this way, or whatnot. Yeah, we got our output. We can open. We could even copy this to the clipboard. So if you needed to paste it in a folder or something like that. But yeah, I'm really excited about this plugin. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I've already gotten some pretty good use out of it. So if you are somebody that would like something like this, then let me know. If you have some suggestions, please let me know. And check this out. This is, I'm telling you, this is so cool. Even your formats, I have this here. So if we want JPEG, just hit apply. Boom. We've been updated. We want multipass. I'll explain this multipass EXR later, but we do have this option. I'm probably going to take this out before I release it for version 2, just because Redshift has some interesting settings for the multipass and the AOV and multi-part EXR, and I'm not really sure how that works. I'm on an older version of Redshift because I'm on perpetual, so I think I'm on like 3.506. So we'll leave that out. But yeah, alpha, all this other stuff, it works. The only thing that supports the multi-pass is the OpenEXR. So if you have this on, you are locked to that format. But yeah, for the most part, I really am loving this. Yeah, and you could see everything live as soon as you hit apply. All the stuff, it switches over. So I'm juiced on this. I'm gonna try to break it for a little while and add these feature requests. And if all's good, you will see this around somewhere and download it. And if you use it, let me know how it goes for you. All right, I appreciate you watching a 20-minute video. That should have been 30 seconds on a plugin that I made because I'm excited about it. Hope you guys get as excited as I am. Here goes the, if you need some insight, this thing really ballooned. We're at like 2,000 lines of code almost. It started off as like less than 200. Yeah, it's gone through some iterations. All right, thanks everybody. Hope you're having a good day. Peace.